ひまりちゃんを助けてあげられるのは親友のゆうちゃんだけ。どうかな？
俺が勝ったらひまりの借金を帳消しにしてくれますか？
もちろんいいよ。負けたら借金も含めてひまりちゃんを諦める。でも私が勝ったらひまりちゃんを私にちょうだい。
わかりました。
My friends, here we are today talking about can a boy-girl friendship survive? This was episode number 9. And here's the deal. I have a favor to ask all of you. If you loved this episode, if you thought it was a hoot, a fun time, and you're like, man, I can't wait to watch more, do me a favor, don't watch this video. Just go to the comments. Let me know what you loved about this episode. Let me know why you're hype about next episode. Let me know what you think about the storyline. Just all the positivity, just flood the comments with the positivity. Definitely, I would be very interested to see on the love for it. Now, if you want to stick around, totally cool. I appreciate your time. Hit me with the like button. Whether you're here or going to stay, whatever, Joe, just hit me with the like button. Unless YouTube know I don't suck. But I'm going to talk super duper 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 negatively about this episode. I thought it was horrendous. I thought it was just it was borderline unwatchable. I have problems with the show and the episode, and I'm just going to talk super negatively about it. So if you don't want to hear negativity, and if that's you, you're like, I didn't hate the episode, but I didn't like it, whatever. If you just don't want to be like, I don't want to hear a bunch of super negativity, click off, no problem, no harm, no foul. You know what I mean? It's your time. And if you loved it and you want to stick around, hey, cool. So, here's the deal. I think episode number 9 this show continues to be a deflection for lengthening out and stretching out Himari and Yu's potential relationship. And this episode started off on a bad note. It showed us a flashback of when they were in middle school. Middle school, and in Japan, the way it goes, like, you basically go to middle school to like 15, and then you go to high school for 3 years or whatever, right? You go year 1, year 2, year 3. So, they were 15. Basically, they were freshman age in middle school. And they've been apparently playing this game of cat and mouse. Like, will they, won't they? Do they like each other? Don't they like each other? And Himari's basically been making it very clear that, like, the moment you actually get serious, she'll probably end up folding really quickly. But it all ends up being on Yu's part. But they've been playing this cat and mouse game for way too long. And for me, that's an immediate turnoff. And it's not anything that's like, oh, completely story related. Hey, if that's how somebody wants to write their story, cool. Not everything is for everybody. But in a lot of these stories, you kind of self-reflect, and you self-reflect or you self-insert, or like you try and empathize, or you try and like, here's my real life, here's where the story falls. And I can kind of see, how this character acts. But for me, I'm on the total opposite end. Like, if it comes to he's putting dating on a pedestal, which is crazy to me. Especially right now, he's like 16, 17 years old. It's like, it's weird. And I get it. Like, hey, if like your parents are against it, but he's just putting, like, he's just self-putting dating on a pedestal. And I get it. He has like one real friend, but at this point he's made some more friends, but he's clearly in love with Himari, and he's clearly been in love with Himari. And they've been playing this cat and mouse game, and he always deflects like, oh, we're just best friends. We're just best friends. But if she would actually, be serious about some other man, this dude would like fall apart. So it's like, it doesn't make any sense. So they've been playing this cat and mouse game for too long. So one, I'm super annoyed by that, because like, I just can't even imagine. I started dating in like freshman year, and it was like the first girl that showed interest. I was like, hey, I think at that point, like, you want to come over to my house or something like that. And like, it was pretty much like a wrap after that. And she would have been like, no. I'd be like, all right, cool. I'm not gonna be like, oh, well, we could be friends. Like, no, it's like, that's stupid. So I can't empathize. So that's my first problem. So it's just really an annoying storyline. The other piece is during their flashback, she talks about like, oh, you wouldn't cheat on me or whatever, right? Like, and it's stupid to even mention cheating or anything when you're just friends, and when you both have clearly made that line of we are just friends. So she's like, oh, you would never cheat on me, whatever. But at the same time, the blonde kid, the little tennis guy who's later in the episode, their third friend, the flamboyant one, even if it was unserious, right? Even if they were being unfor real, and even if he swings the other direction or whatever, it doesn't matter. she still dated him for a small period of time, whether they were serious, whether it was just, just to see what happens, whatever. So when it comes to cheating, she already basically did that. You know what I mean? She went out and she ended up actually dating somebody else while they were friends. So essentially, like, that cheating thing, if you're gonna call it that, already occurred. So like, that's a whole other thing that's like just doesn't sit right with me for her to make it such a big deal. But at the same time, it's like, well, you actually ended up doing that already. So it's like, how does that make sense? So we'll pause there, and that's the flashback stuff. So I have a problem with the flashback, cat and mouse game for too long, the cheating conversation, and the clear, like, there's something there very early on, 2 or 3 years ago, and the fact that it's still going on is gross to me. So we'll pause. So then this comes into the other portion of the episode that I have a problem with, and just the story. So let me talk about the story, and then I'll get to the rest of the episode. So the story is now deflecting the relationship even more, because at the end of the episode, Inochi's sister, so Enimoto's sister, whatever, comes, and she's been trying to heavily recruit Himari to be a model. She's saying she has talent, whatever. And at the end of it, she was like, hey, what about by the end of summer, you have to make a quality product. And if you don't make a quality product, then like you're going to lose Himari forever. And he's like, yeah, I'll do that. It's like, why? What is this storyline? He talks about Himari not being a product, not being like something for gambling. But essentially the story is that Enimoto's sister spent money, spent her company's funding or whatever to get plane tickets, to basically she had a verbal agreement that Himari would potentially be scouted by her agency. And she decided as the company to spend money on Himari. First off, that money is not owed. If I myself right now go out and I'm going to go recruit an editor, or I'm going to recruit an employee, and I decide to wine and dine them, I decide to take them to dinner, I decide to send them concert tickets for the weekend, I decide to do whatever, those are my company expenses. Those cannot be redeemable by the person that I'm trying to recruit. So they don't need to pay that back whatsoever. So even the fact that she was trying to trick Himari into thinking that she had to, it doesn't work. So it just, like, life just doesn't work like that. Whatever expenses she incurred were based on the dumb decision that she intended to make, doesn't matter, okay? Then the other part is, like, you agreeing to some stupid agreement of, like, a contest, that he has to make a product, as Inochi's sister is just shitting on his company, being like, oh, you make subpar products, your accessories suck. It doesn't matter what she thinks. It's based on his customers, right? Now, I get it. He's young and insults hurt, right? Words hurt regardless. He's very sensitive to, the consumer feedback. The girls that threw his little accessory, he got all boo-hooey about, whatever. But, like, immediately I'm already checked out, because, like, he should just say, no, I'll talk to Himari. I'll let her know that you were just trying to blackmail her. And don't worry about me, my company, or her decisions. She'll let you know. And he could have just left it at that, but instead he's like, yeah, I'll make a product. Blah, blah, blah. It's like this comes back to the main thing I hate in anime and manga and webtoons of, like, when somebody needs to complete something to confess, like, I'm gonna finish with the 4.0 GPA, and if I don't, I can't confess to Asuna, or I gotta win the basketball tournament. It's like, no, you don't. Just go confess. Stop being a pussy. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of the storylines that, like, the moment those kind of storylines get interjected in the story, I'm checked out. Like, you need to go and complete a test, or you need to go and complete the SATs with a certain score, or you got to go win a basketball tournament, or like a baseball. It's like, it's just stupid. I hate it. So this is another one of those things. And the main problem I have is, like, again, his accessories, the success of them or whatever, are based on his customers. Like, whatever she says, cool. Like, that's your opinion. It's based on his customers. Like, she's like, oh, you can't start a company. You're in the boondies. He's an online company, right? He's like an Instagram page. He could be in Canada. He could be in Quebec. He could be in Cuba. He could be in Brazil. He could be in Korea. He could be in Vietnam. He could be in Japan. It doesn't matter where he's at. He's an online company. He fulfills orders online. Obviously, he's more local based. Doesn't matter, though. People place him online. The people who place him like his products, and that's how he sells his products. He wants to open a store. Cool. He's got to scale out his business. So it doesn't matter what this girl says whatsoever. And they try to mask this with, like, comedy between the sister or the Inochi sister and Himari's brother because they were exes or whatever. Like, that's fine. I can see how that could be funny, but I didn't find it funny. At this point, I'm just annoyed by this story. Again, taking us down. We're on episode 9. We only have 3 episodes left, with me. We're not going to get anything by the end. Maybe the end of this dumbass competition, but we're not going to get any romance. And this is pitched to us as a romance comedy. And I know we're not going to get any romance because there was a confession, like in episode number 4, where Himari and when she was going to leave Tokyo, they basically confessed to each other, and then the friendship just reset, which is stupid. But it's taking us from this romance. It's going, hey, romance. Hey, this stupid competition. It's basically taking us this way, which is just really annoying and really just stupid. And it's just a deflection to elongate the story even more. I'm way over on time, but the last thing I'll say is like the middle of the episode. I could talk to like for 10 more minutes about this. I'm not going to though, because publishing a 20-minute video, nobody watches it. But the middle of the episode too of now you using Enimoto, instead of trying to get closer to her or allowing that to happen, he's just using her as a deflection tool so that he can go complain about Himari, so that Enimoto can assert herself to get between them, because he can't handle the fact that she wants to, show off her tits, when she goes and wears a swimsuit or something. And then when they're doing the swimsuit stuff, he runs away because he can't fathom seeing her in a bikini or something like that. I'm just like, what is this? What is this? You know what I mean? It's like, do you like her or not? And then when he's talking to Enimoto, she's like, the thing I love for you the most, how honest you are with yourself. Like, he's the lyingest piece of shit ever. He lies to himself constantly. He's obviously in love. He can't admit it because he's a big puss bag. And then he's dealing with this Himari stuff, and he runs away from the girl who's trying to show him some skin or whatever. Like, just, it's so annoying. I just can't. Honestly, guys, I would have dropped this anime already, but I committed. I'm going to continue watching it. I'm going to continue to be negative if the shows keep sucking ass like they have. And like I tried to warn in the beginning, if anybody made it to this point of the video, hey, love y'all. But like, if you're loving it, cool. You don't need to listen to me. Like, these are just my unfiltered thoughts. And if I was writing for a anime news network or something, I would give my unfiltered thoughts just like I am here. It's just not good. So I'm just so disappointed with this show this season. All right, I'm 13 minutes in. It's crazy. It's one of my longest videos I've published ever. I'll see you guys next week for episode number 10. Will it be saved? Probably not. Will it continue sucking ass? Probably. One of the most disappointing shows of the season. See you then.